Our next important vocabulary word is transversal. So a transversal is a line that's going to intersect two or more other lines. So it's going to cut through 2 or 3 or 4, etc. lines. So look at this scenario. I have 4 different lines: line A, line B, line C, and line D. So if I am considering line A to be my transversal, that means it would be intersecting line C and line D. Or if I considered line B to be my transversal, then that means it would be intersecting line C and line D. Or I could consider line C to be my transversal. That means it intersects line B and line A. Or if I consider D to be my transversal, it would be intersecting line B and line A. So depending on which line is your transversal, the 2 lines that it's intersecting will also change. So when we have a transversal that intersects 2 lines, we have some special relationships. So the first type of special relationship is called alternate interior angles. So let's go back to this picture. And I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this line. And I'm going to move this over. Okay, so in this scenario, now that I've gotten rid of the line B, my transversal is line A. Here's my transversal. And then line C and line D are my 2 lines that's intersecting. So think of those 2 lines as like a pipe or like a tube. So all of this stuff, all of this space would be considered the interior, that it's in between those 2 lines. And then, oops, nope, didn't want to do that. All of this stuff would be the exterior of the 2 lines. So if it's in between the 2 lines, it's the interior, and if it's outside the 2 lines, it's the exterior. Then again, if A is my transversal, I have a left side and a right side of that transversal. So all of this stuff is on one side of the transversal. All the green stuff is on the same side of the transversal, and all of the orange stuff is on the other side of the transversal. So we have 2 different sides of the transversal, and then if we're talking about the 2 lines, we have the interior and the exterior. So if I'm talking about angles that are alternate interior, that means they're on alternate, which is like another word for opposite. They're on opposite sides of the transversal. But they're in the interior of the 2 lines that the transversal cuts through. So this is going to sound really silly, but there's a letter that it's going to look like, and it's a Z. So you can think of them as Zalternate, which is dumb, but it really can help. Okay, so if I'm looking at my 2 lines, L and M, I have to be talking about the interior of the 2 lines. So I got to talk about, here's the interior of those 2 lines. So I'm only talking about these angles, 4, 3, 8, and 5. Then I'm going to talk about angles that are on alternate, okay, they're on different sides of the transversal. So like angle 4 is on the left side of the transversal, and angle 5 is on the right side of the transversal. So if you notice, there's a Z. So like angle 4 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles. They make a Z like that. And then there's another pair of alternate interior angles. Oops. Oh well. If I draw my Z in the opposite direction, like that, then angle 3 and angle 8 are also alternate interior angles. So angle 4 and angle 5 were alternate interior angles. And then if I draw the Z the other way, angle 3 and angle 8 are alternate interior angles. Okay, the next one is alternate exterior angles. So instead of talking about the interior of the two lines, I'm talking about the exterior of the two lines. So we're only talking about angle 1, 2, 7, and 6. And if they're alternate means they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So if I'm talking about angle 1, which angle is on the opposite side of the transversal? 6. 1 and 6 are both exterior angles that are on opposite sides of the transversal. So like angle 1 and angle 6 are alternate exterior angles. And then I have another pair, angle 2 and angle 7 are also alternate exterior angles. So I have two pairs of alternate exterior angles. They're on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're outside, they're on the exterior of those two lines. Okay, same side same side is also called consecutive interior angles. So big key word here is interior. So I'm looking at the interior only. But now I want to talk about just angles that are on the same side of the transversal. So they have to both be on the left side or both be on the right side of the transversal. Same side, also called consecutive. So same side C, same side C. And it's not really a C, it kind of looks more like a boxy C, but still. Look for the C. 3 and 5, angle 3 and angle 5 are both on the same side of the transversal. They're both on the right side of the transversal, and they're both interior angles. So angle 3 and angle 5 are same side interior angles. And another pair, it's just the C, but it's just backwards, same side C. Angle 4 and angle 8 are also same side interior angles. So I have two pairs of same side interior angles, 3 and 5 and 4 and 8. They have to be interior, they have to be inside those two lines, and they have to be on the same side of the transversal. And then the last type is called corresponding, and they make, okay, well, I was going to show the shortcut, but first I'll talk you through it. Okay, so if I'm just looking at these four angles, do you agree that I have a top left angle, I have a top right angle, I have a bottom left angle, and I have a bottom right angle? Then if I just look at these four angles, I have a top left angle, a top right angle, a bottom left angle, and a bottom, oops, wrong color, and a bottom right angle. So the angles that are in the same spot, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right, those are called corresponding angles. So 1 and 8 are corresponding, 2 and 5 are corresponding, 4 and 7 are corresponding, and 3 and 6 are corresponding. And the shortcut is they make an F, which is kind of hard to tell, but do you see here's an F, angle 3 and angle 6 make an F, so you can think of them instead of as corresponding as corresponding. It's dumb, but it helps. Or like here, here's an upside down F, angle 5 and angle 2 are corresponding. Here's a backwards F, angle 4 and angle 7, that's a backwards F. And then an upside down and backwards F, angle 8 and angle 1. Those are also corresponding.